Hey, what's up? It's Fuel Your Life Friday. Let's go. Woo! Today is the 100th episode of the Master Your Mind Business and Life podcast. And if you're listening to this on launch day, you are also very likely aware that today is Friday the 13th. The number 13 in many cultures is a number of bad luck. Many hotels skip labeling the 13th floor. Winston Churchill apparently did not like to sit in the 13th row of the theater, and apparently both he and President Theodore Roosevelt both avoided traveling on Friday the 13th. Also, in Formula One racing, the number 13 was removed after two men driving cars number 13 crashed and died. Now, I was kind of curious about Friday the 13th. Why Friday? Why 13th? What is the combo that makes them together so bad? Well, this kind of has to be broken down into two parts. So we can take the negativity surrounding Friday way back to this little old story about Adam and Eve. So Friday was apparently the day that Eve offered Adam the forbidden fruit. And of course, then Friday is also the day that Adam repented, died, and was cremated. St. Peter was crucified on a Friday, and St. Paul was beheaded on a Friday. And then, of course, Jesus also died on a Friday. Back in the time period of public hangings, Friday was a designated day of public hangings, and in some areas, Fridays are actually known as Hangman's Day. Like, what? The unlucky 13 can be superstitious for many, spanning back centuries. But keeping on par with the Christian religion, there's some superstition around the Last Supper because, of course, there were 13 people there, Jesus and his 12 disciples. So it's said that someone dies within a year after eating at a table with 12 other people. Others view it as negative because it takes 13 witches to make a coven. I also read that in Hungary, when a child is born on Friday 13th, a few drops of blood must be burned in the same room or the infant will suffer bad luck in life. So if someone lives in Hungary, I'd love to know if you can confirm or deny this because I just found it very interesting. With all of that stated, you're probably thinking, oh, heck yeah, Friday the 13th is a terrible day. But before the patriarchy of religion made its forefront, Friday the 13th was actually seen as the day of the goddess. Friday is named after Freya. Freya, in ancient Norse mythology, was a goddess of blessings, love, lust, fertility, and 13 was her sacred number. Yeah, you heard that right. 13 is a feminine number. 13 is the average number of menstrual cycles in a year. It's also the approximate number 2 of annual moon cycles. I also read that when Chinese women make offerings of mooncakes, they're sure to put 13 on a platter. Going back even further, the Egyptians believed that life had 13 stages. The last stage would be death, but death was simply a transition into eternal life. Interestingly enough, the word reincarnation has 13 letters. We also have a lot of 13 in the United States. So the flag of the United States has 13 horizontal stripes, 6 white, 7 red, and the original flag, of course, had 13 stars on it, representing the 13 original colonies. The U.S. government Great Seal has 13 stars, 13 arrows, 13 berries, 13 stripes, and 13 leaves, as well as 2 13-letter phrases. So if we take away all the negative perceptions of Friday the 13th and just really focus on the good, then today is a day that we should celebrate and honor the cycle of life, transformation, death, and rebirth. I think that cycle in itself is one to be cherished. The thing is, like everything, the number 13 and Friday the 13th, whether we believe it's positive or negative, actually depends on your perception. Perception is our own personal reality. All personal beliefs, thoughts, emotions, whatever, they all create that reality. We own our perception, and at any time we have the ability to change our perceptions. Wayne Dyer once said, "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." So while I could choose to see this 100th episode falling on a Friday the 13th as a bad thing, I'm choosing to see it as a positive thing. This podcast has aided in the healing, awakening, and success of women all over the world. And today, on Friday the 13th, the Divine Goddess Day, I'm going to choose to honor that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Friday the 13th and how you perceive it. Share them with me. I'm everywhere on social media at MindBizLife. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and be sure to give the podcast a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you tune in and turn it up. That's all for today. I'll see you back here next week. And until then, remember, every level of life is an opportunity to grow. Be well, my friend.